All right. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Teal-Rasferian, CEO, Plant Life Ambassador, and part-time Vtuber. Today is more Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. I mostly just did like dungeons and stuff before the main story quest yesterday, but I decided to jump into the main story quest off stream. There's a point where, like in other X packs, when you first get into them, there's the choice between like going to 2 different maps, but you have to do both of them. I cleared one of the maps, and I'm just now starting my second one. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Desktop audio on. Yeah, everything looks okay. Woo. So this is literally just starting the map. We just walk in. There's the next part of the main story quest. I just jumped forward to get the Aetheryte in this village. But yeah. Level 92 White Mage. And yeah. Oh, hey, there's a look. There's a blah blah blah. A Vista, or that's what they're called. Let's grab that. How do I get up there? How do I get up there? How do I get up there, game? There's a path up there. Womp, 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 womp. Oh, there's apparently some kind of story cutscene there. There's apparently a story cutscene here. Oh my god, there's an alpaca. And it grinding their stuff. Alpaca are so cute. Slash look out. Watchun Pello. It's the village. I'm not gonna read all that. Trying to decide whether I want to queue for like dungeons or not. Oh, it's all tank. If I queue for a dungeon as White Mage, it's gonna instantly pop. If I go in as, if I start it as a Picto, then it'll take like an hour. Yeah. Let's do high level dungeons. 28, we'll see about that. White Mage. Alize, I could see more buildings down the path Bolnock was taking. I wonder what's over that way. There's the like intro cutscene to coming in the area. You meet like a named NPC who kind of just chats Wook-Lamont up to say like, oh, I believe in your vision. I feel the change in altitude most keenly. While mayhap not to the same degree as the sea of clouds, the air is decidedly thin here. Yeah, the biggest thing about this is the giant mountain. Funny enough, in the cutscene where they show it off, it was foggy weather at the time, so I didn't get to like actually see it. The palace crowds were more supportive of her brothers, but Wook-Lamont's peaceful politics do have their quiet adherents, I see. And she kind of just walked into the village first. Let me adjust my webcam a bit, because my model keeps freaking out a little bit. This is it. Watchun Pello, home of the Pelu Pelu. Wilklamat should have arrived before us. She's right there. Chatting someone up. That's not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession. Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate it is, then, that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. The Pelu Pelu are merchants. They basically will get money from you. And a nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people. Yes, finery for our finest lady. That's right. Come, third promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady. I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. Erinville, thank you. Ahem, what did we just talk about? Erinville, when did you... She's way too excitable. Ah, a Shitona from far off Zaktural? Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I can't imagine how you survive them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca fur wool. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course, my shop door is always open. Thank you, Erinville, for being the voice of reason. You were saying something about not being easily charmed? I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Pelu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Brooklamont fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. Valuable insight into the minds of the Pelu Pelu. Let us all take Erinville's words of caution to heart. To Urkopacha. Close. I was just closing a messaging program. Because one of my friends is also playing Dawn Trail. I swear, I let her out of my sight for one moment. Wilkalat is lucky to have Erinville. Everyone, royalty especially, needs a friend unafraid to chide them when the need arises. So it seems the Pelu Pelu are also partial to coffee. All these houses and buildings made to Pelu Pelu size. And mine too, come to think of it. Traders of happiness. We have to look for the elector. Basically, the right of succession is basically retrace the steps of the Dawn servants' journey. And we have to find electors, which give us challenges to overcome and to prove the people's ability to rule. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do, find the elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Kryel, Alice, and I will speak with the merchants. Wilklamat, you and Erinville might try approaching travelers and passerby. Olive, pray investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third promise. That's Wilklamat. Bump, 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 bump. Kubli. You've had enough. Just one more cup. Distillery worker. The Dawn Servant's elector. Ah, I thought you were a new face in town. Here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't much care who sits on the throne as long as they keep Tyrol peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. Mezcal is an alcohol they make. Oh, right, yes, you were asking about the elector business. Being but freshly returned from my train route, I've heard that there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobley, could probably tell you more about it. Isn't Tobley the one from Final Fantasy X and X-2? The one that tries to, like, hold a concert. Let's talk to... Oh, and there's gemstone traders again, too. That... bicolor gemstones. Alpaca fillets. Mega Magui pineapple. Silver Lobo hides. I know people are gonna want the crafting components, like the cloth and skins and whatnot for leather. Electors? Oh yes, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zoralja. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers. In the thousands columns, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No. No, I would not. Very well, you said you want to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zoralja or his policies. Zoralja is the one that Wuklamot said should not get the throne because he wants to invade other places to be an expansionist. Mablu. Hello there, I'm Mablu. Do you have a question for me? Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectful distance. Get too close, and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you, and that stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. Tobley's the head rancher and the head, finance person. No one makes a mistake without Tobley knows it. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. Or if there's, multiple Tobleys. So I guess we go till about Wuklamot. That's probably this Tobley person. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets. And then there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobley is the man to talk about the contest. Now, if only they would share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher. Well, the Alpaca Ranch is not far from here. I say we pay it a visit before the others return. Is that the one I was just at? Or is it further in? No, it's where I was. Bum 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 bum. Mermherm. Ugh, that's a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. She's afraid of alpacas because one spit on her when she was younger. I can't let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Is one of these workers Tobley? He likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. Huh, so it's like a game. All I have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. What kind of deal? Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. We can meet back here to share our impressions. His favorite pungent subject. So, Mablu, like you were saying. Well, obviously I'm not Tobley. I mean, oops, I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out for yourself who Tobley is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Diligent ranch hand. A visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movement slow and deliberate. Okay, The beast regards you with wary eyes and a twitching jaw. Backing away slowly might be the wisest course of action. You want to play? Boastful ranch hand. You think I might be Tobley? Ha ha ha, well maybe I am. I'll say that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. Head ledger and heartbeat. Am I Tobley? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the right of succession then? Eh? His favorite pungent subject, which is the ones that spit. It's the diligent ranch hand seems like the most likely then. Let me crack open the soda. I see we're both done with our interrogations. Yeah. Who do you think it is? I have my suspicions. Let's hear your pick. The diligent. The worker so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. Well, you know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal, a generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Watchun Pello and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Gulul Jaja's chosen electors. That's the Dawn Servant, and Wokelmat's dad. Aha! In a place featured in the Tulial Saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tobley. And I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here.
Reducing the Dunservant Selector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all. Zorolcha.
I am told the head ledger, Dobly, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Dobly. That's part of the test.
Yeah. The eyes move.
You're Dobly.
Yeah.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawn Servant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me
It,
an alpaca.
is it a very specific type?
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example.
The example?
This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, third promise?
It's gonna spit on her, isn't it?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
Bleh.
Ah! The little monster spat on me! All of it stinks. I can't.
Wow. Is she just that sensitive, or is it just that strong?
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching.
Oh.
The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the dumb servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the ride, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. That doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Oh, hey everyone.
Are you all right, Clement? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yell.
Scream, in other words.
Aaronville's the best.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
Blah, 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 blah. Look, that has to go alone. We probably have to help her, like, make bait or a trap or something. But then she has to do it herself. This is up to them. Main column escape, but the same rules don't apply to wild alpacas. Which puts me in the mind of Garlemald's own exalted son. Of the two, though, Xenos was undeniably more arrogant. Judging by the volume of Wilclemat's scream, alpaca expectoration must have a nasty odor indeed. I am content to remain ignorant of the smell. So this is our sought-after Elector. I had to go and wash that nasty stuff out my face. I think I got all of it. Would you mind taking a stiff for me, just to make sure the stench has ruined my sense of smell? Hey, I saw that look. The Feet of Gold. As Wilclemat helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle. We infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those, then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. I wonder what the conversion rate is. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Yep, if we all pitch in. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money, somehow. In that case... that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. Oh, it's one of these. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1,000,000? You're not turning into 1,000,000. We need 10,000 pel, not 1,000,000, so we're looking at 100 times more. Oh. Right, I panicked and got confused with Alphino's million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants towards the first step of the feat, like you asked. As long as Wooklamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, third promise. Oh, shit. An ally, we need an ally. We can haggle with more voices. Pitch in with the ranch work. Gladly, go with Wooklamat. Go over the markets. Hold on to the alpaca. Leave the wool with me. Yes, come on. Come on. Freaking skip cutscene. Pictomancer, yes. Go. Ugh. Howdy. Howdy to the party. Jeez. I was expecting longer. Oh, it's Keeper of the Lake. Oh, and I don't have landscape motif at this point. Oh, hammer stamp is a distance from whatever you target it at. And I don't have the pallet gauge. But I do have Moogles. I thought the hammer was like an AoE around you, so it's pleasant to learn that's wrong. Oh, we're just starting the boss. Okay. Oh, they're still in the room. Shit. There's no point in drawing a hammer because the actual move is still loading. But I can do a palm. Now I can do a hammer. Eh, eh. Now that I actually have skills compared to the Sastasha run yesterday, it's way more fun. Identification key. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, why is the tank thing not going away? We're really just skipping all of these. The signifier. Wait. I'll just focus them down. Identification key. Wait. Oh, that's right. There's ads that spawn. I should save these AoE attacks for them. It's so fun and whimsical. Why are we opening the chest for these things? That's right, the laser blasts will hit the dragons too. Yeah, that's right. Admonishment. Phantom Kin. I don't remember that. This is a new move. They must have changed it for like rebalancing purposes. Just Phantom Inner Turmoil. Yeah. Oh. Now we have to fight things. Yeah, they changed this fight a little bit from the olden days. Hackmorn. Phantom Inner Turmoil. This attack used to be based on a character's position, rather than just dead center every time. And the this should end him. Thank you for the run. Level 82. You can have it, I guess. Okay. Wasn't expecting to actually get into a dungeon. Okay, so 82 Picto, enhanced Pictomancy. 5 stacks of Hyperphantasia upon executing Starry Muse. Stacks of Hyperphantasia are consumed upon casting certain spells while under the effect of inspiration. Reduces cast time and recast time of Star Prism, which we don't have. Aether Hue spells by 25%, while standing within the bounds of the magicked landscape. Okay, so it basically just makes it, so that's what makes the little grass puddle, from what I understand. It just doesn't tell you that anywhere. Yeah, Star Prism's 100. That, let's change back to White Mage. Mablu hasn't given up, I see. I guess that means something. Turning 100 pel worth of wool into 10,000 pel saddle is exactly the kind of suggestion I expect from the head of a merchant clan. I'd worry if it was just Wokulmat, but it sounds like Mablu knows a thing or two about trading. I have every confidence you'll come back with the saddle. Tending the alpacas, are we? I had some experience with that when I was younger. Huh. Bum, 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 bum. Speak to Hovli right over here. Well, Clement. Is it possible 100 times the wool is worth just through trading? This is the artisan who makes our taming saddles. Something I can do for you. We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how much will you be paying for? With this basket of fine alpaca wool, it's not going to be enough of a trade. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that something be? What that might be. Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff, and you've got a deal. This bodes well for us, Third Promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. So that's half the price normally. Hold on. Did you say Third Promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a mug of premium mezcal aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Joraljar will go to war and the cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. Okay. It's nothing personal, Third Promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Throwing the name around made things difficult. Can't say I blame him. I am known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wooklamat. The young ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the Second Promise envisions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mabu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yakuei ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn's servant, to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed, we just need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tulial on the line. Neither will I. We will make you Dawn's servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne. Oh, the trader guy. We met him in like the intro cutscene for the map. The Weaver, Bolnuk was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going in, but for now let's head back to that road when we first met him. Over there. Also, it's snowing here. Makes sense because it's a mountain area. Oh, there's alpacas as enemies. Is this where you met the Weaver? This is the spot. After Bolnuk talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he was probably going to Ikluvo's Inn. Most visitors to Huachinpelo end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? Oh, also, I bought this minion, the Blue Coat Cat. It was 800 nuts from the Hunt store, which was basically all the nuts I had. But it's really cute. Tural Rati. Oh, you've got an Amistoma. That's the Savage raids. There's a lot more alpacas here. Oh, we found him, like 2 seconds in. He offers something wonderful in exchange. Weren't you on your way to Huachinpelo? Can I have the basket, Olive? Standard quality wool you receive from Topley. Thanks, now let's see if we can turn a profit. I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? You wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? Blah, 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 blah. I see. So the goal is to turn the basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace in Tyrol is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer one that pledged to preserve that peace when thrown. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Oh. That's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. They say column, so it's 500. That's very generous, Bolnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Olive remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. You take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Aaronville would never let me hear the end of it. Our next deal is waiting to be found. Excellent trade. Now, this is cute. You trade 100 wool pel basket of wool for 500 pel wool poncho. That's a cute little detail. It's only 5 times more. It feels like 500 times more. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one? Well, that's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. There we go, we find the demand for our supply. Where should we begin to search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who needs a poncho? A lot of Mulsha hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamulja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamulja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Harbin, Hobby Goose, Vtuber. The disconcerted one? No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. We might have a winner. Oh there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolal and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pelu that I am a man who takes pride in his appearance, and therefore his work as well, but now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. What a splendid poncho! This would be perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We would be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade. For one of your fine tools, perhaps? What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp and a haft well made. Oh. Hi, Davu. Thank you for stopping by. Blade looks sharp, the half well made. I'd value at 1 pel in the thousands column. From 500 to 1,000. We have a deal. Fine garments such as this will put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's mate garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate, and I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I have to met you. Okay, we have a lead for the next trade. Hope Dawn is going good for art. Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I mostly did I did some main story quest off stream, but it's been really fun. The music is really good too. I really like the music in the main city. We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's mate garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be the calm type, right? Excellent trade. Fine hatchet. 1,000 pel hatchet. Okay, we're 10% of the way there. I wonder if there's going to be a point where we have to, like, make a choice, and our choice determines, like, how easy it becomes. Bump. Ba 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 ba. Riding alpacas. Recognizing that toolmaker is a potential customer. If you have mind to change professions, you make an excellent merchant. Well, I mean, I'm an omni-crafter, so... steals herself for the ride to find your next trading partner. Used to be the one to hold on to this. I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mabu has so kindly provided. Let's mount up. Begin the alpaca ride. Whoa. Off to the mate field to go. Oh, it's so cute. It's so bouncy. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Tyrol? Oh, these silver Lobos are models from Final Fantasy XII, I think. That mountain is too tall to be real. Warkor Zormor, wasn't that the name? A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take a long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yakhui. Lots of new locations along this automated flight. Mega Mugui. Learning the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming style, though, then it'd be proof I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. The Noctua Cactuars. Their gait is so silly. The Miplus... Is it mate or mate? Maybe they'll say it in a voice cutscene. Probably not. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Kluva's inn, so we'll be walking along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. Then perhaps you understand. I was an orphan too, you see. Tobli took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this, We need to keep trading things for your saddle to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add that to Wuklamot's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Miplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the third promise, and let's get bargaining. Yay. It's a lot of distance. And then this part is 93, so I guess we come back here at some point. Did you give the hatchet back to Wuklamot? We should have her do the talking. Yeah, that little axe. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of the fields? I have a mind to trade if you're interested. The third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet. Forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the 1,000 column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer than Mezcal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think this way, a generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming. And I will no longer have needs of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wuklamot. That is why I am prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kuana's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Olive and I have meat to gather. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Alright. Oh, it's an alpaca pulling a balloon cart. Kind of like the balloons that the Eorzean carts have. Oh, here's Mablu. Did you see how Wuklamot came to my rescue there? She really is good with people. I don't see any pests. No pests except for me. Gorply? Gorply? Hold on a second. Your name is Gorply. What do you have to say for yourself? Have you ever seen someone picking mate leaves? I imagine the opportunities to see are few and far between. As well as seeing someone named Gorpley. I'm sure you're a hard worker, but Gorpley. I wasn't sure Miplu would bite, but it goes to show you never know until you try. Gorpley. I don't know why I'm laughing so much. Papley. Okay, it's not as much as Gorpley, but these names. You brought me some leaves then. Acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Gorpley sounds like a verb. Like that man Gorpley picked up the basket. We brought our shares too. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of my hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mate. Bought at the shop, one sack of those leaves would cost more than 5 pel in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. That went from 1,000 even to 5,000. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As I am. All the best with the rest of your harvest. We're halfway there. Mablu, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before. Even after everything Tobley's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobley to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans to leave? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Terrell's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobley held the same opinion. So talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for your advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We tried to trade our tree leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kawana and Zorljaw? I mean, of course I am. I'm Wuklamot of the Dawn's Promise, after all. Excellent trade. Top grade mate leaves. I've never been one to take it slow. Once I have a goal in mind, it's full speed ahead. That's who I am. before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Aaronville's point. Next up is the distillery. Oh, and some side quests opened up. Let's see. Let's just teleport back. If it's a side quest that gives Aether Currents, I do pick those up. Like, I have these couple on my list here. But if it's just, like, the side quests, other etc. ones, I prefer to wait until I'm done with, like, the main story stuff to go back and do them. Because then you can... By then, you can pretty much fly everywhere, and it's a lot faster. And the smell of mezcal is overpowering. The fumes alone are making me dizzy. We'll want to speak with a man by the name of Gobley. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his products, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Olive, perhaps Wuk-Lamat could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Okay. Me? I'm a chef from Tuliolal. I often come here to buy Gobley's mezcal, the finest in Tyrol according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Raplu. That's a cool name. There's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day, he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. So then we offer to clear it out for additional value. Suvli. Gobley might be a deft-handed distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sunperch. So we need to offer him... We need to clear the fields of monsters, but also get him some nice clothes. So, what did you find out? Blah, blah, blah. We can make use of all of those tidbits. The deal is good as served. I found out where Gobley is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go ahead and I'll bring Wuk-Lamat. Up here. Oh yeah, this is the path I took to get that one spot. Rumpled attire, it's the same clothing as everyone else. You have business with me, sir. Why don't we talk below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Ugh, breaking my neck over here. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief if you would. I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal, just like that. Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? I feel like the correct answer would be doing the taste for strong drink because he's trying to make us drink. But I want to bring up the monsters in the fields. Okay, so the distaste for strong drink was the correct. As an opener. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a Hobogo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if it might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right, absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hobogo friend, but did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we offer to kill the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit, I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk to Folokshinsa. It'd be such a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. Oh, it's a bit more faded red, or it might just be the lighting compared to the guy in the kitchen. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing. An introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnuk, and his works are highly regarded in Tuliolal. As a supporter of Woklama and a keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one which I should like to take full advantages, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in agave jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in that saved expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. All right, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and Olive and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time-dependent introductory letter to Bolnuk. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachinpelo. Be safe. Ooh. Be careful out there. I probably won't get there in time for Mega Magui Mayhem. Or I might. I might be able to kill, like, one. Malodorous Megamui. New skill. I think it's complete now. Yeah. Just silver. Oh well. Ba, 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 ba. New location. That should be agave jaws just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you finish clearing your part of the pests. Now there's ones around here. Prickly barb mole. Bum, 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 bum. The music is really fun. Bump. Exciting gameplay of casting glare over and over again. Chaba Gedon. Glare 4. Oh, what Clement's up here? Oh, Aether Current. Let's go get that. Biscuit Eater. You're probably gonna have to fight them. Yeah. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Alright, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is give Mabu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Bum 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 ba da ba 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 da da. Bum 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 ba 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 ba. Those monsters no trouble, it seems, if you could just have the sack of leaves. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster problem has been solved. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnock as agreed. Then the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Finally, we have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one that inspired me to come this far, Third Promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Yay, she's getting confidence. And this should be enough for a level up. Excellent trade. 10k Pell. Oh, Dr. Wook will not. Ready to turn Havli. I can always use more blue color dye. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held 10,000 Pell jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. The trade we've been working towards. 10 Pell in the thousands. Still in one piece. Time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, saddler. We've brought your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing, a few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant to Zoraljaw, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. A trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, Third Promise. Great. Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Hee hee. Blah 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 blah. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. If you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! We still have to actually get the alpaca. And to think we started on that 100 Pell basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you're going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, Third Promise. We got what we came here, so let's return to the branch. The others will be waiting. Feat accomplished. Taming saddle. I can easily see that this cute little pop-up type thing come up for, like, maybe Beast Tribe quests. Or they're called allied quests now. Because not everyone's beast. Alright. Tell them the good news. Looks like everyone's been pitching in for the alpacas. I assume trading was productive? I made the mistake of startling one and caught a glob of spittle for my trouble. I'm beginning to understand Wilclamot's aversion to the animals. Tobly and Aaronville have been teaching us how to care for alpacas. One gentle girl ate the feed straight from my hand. That sounds so cute. Oh, Alphino. Kryl was talking about back in the city about how she thought alpacas were so cute. You've acquired the saddle then. Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild boar friends so you can practice. I know. This is something I need to learn. Dodge the spit. Great sunken gods, I did it. It's so cute. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Wilclamot's touch. That's because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only now noticing that? Zeralja, he's back. Why does he have a gold-coated one? Having done exactly what he set out to do. Now, Palki, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley, where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wilclamot. Hey, that's not necessary. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tyrell can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict. The wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tuliala all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of conquest and renewed appreciation for peacetime. 'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. That is why Gulul Jaja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, The first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Teal-Rasferian, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Well done indeed. The first promise is completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone. Pink. The other one we got was like brown. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Koana. It's like we're not even family. Eh. So much of our star has begun to embrace reconciliation and rebuild, and this would-be warlord would thrust us all back into turmoil. We cannot allow it to happen. Zoraal is willing to go to war for his twisted vision of peace, but should he achieve his peace, then what? What kind of idiots thinks the world can be united with war? Even most Garleans have since realized that their conquests were a mistake. A golden alpaca in the flesh. Like the Golden City I thought them a children's tale. I could never agree with Zoraal. I want Teal-Rasferian to be a land of peace, now and always. I will ponder Zoraal and his mysteries later. Right now I need to think about finishing the Feat of Gold. I have my saddle, I practice how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. Valley of Orankanka. If we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wukwamoth off on our hunt. Over that way. Well, these ones are running around. Someone must have passed through. Kind of like how I did with that one. Alpacas. New location. Presumably after we finish the quest here, we go on to somewhere else where the first dungeon is. Mabu's right. The least we can do is let Wukwamoth know we're cheering for her. Zoraal may have caught his alpaca first. That doesn't mean Wukwamoth is out of the running. She can do this. Orankanka is steep and treacherous place, so only those with the head ledger's blessing are permitted to go there. I never set foot beyond this point. The valley is said to be home to fiends far more precocious than spitting alpacas. How deep do you think the valley is? I glanced over the edge on the way here, but the mist was too thick to even speculate. Before I go, and also, my head is, I'm just now looking over at OBS. My head is coming out of the thing. There we go. I'm in front of it now. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break and get some more water. So I'm gonna set us to BRB really quick. Okay, I am back. Oh, come on. Is this a button I can just push to cheer? Oh, that's so convenient. And a cutscene.
Good luck there, promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it. But I'm to rule this nation, and I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wooklamart is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
No, we're pitching a tent over here.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian.
Huh. A hunt?
As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek.
Huh.
My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
The Dawn Trail.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding this city of gold?
I was.
Ah.
Though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We'll need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Q, she's coming back.
Do you hear that?
Oh, she's writing.
did it.
She sounds tired. She must have got spat on a bunch. Or injured.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, third promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
We were out here for quite some time, but I'm glad Wokomat was able to catch her alpaca. Aaronville choosing to share his story with us was a welcome surprise. Alfino was quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this to be his new obsession now that he's mastered collecting firewood? Thanks to Alfino and his healing hands, I can actually stand again. Maybe even walk. Wokomat had no serious injuries to speak of. However, she'd clearly been pushed to the very limits of her endurance. I spoke too much. If Wokomat is up to it, we should be heading back to Tobli. I'm so relieved the third promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. Raptor. I'll go Raptor Blue dye. Knowing the Pelu Pelu. Wokomat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic, though? Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. So wisely suggested, we should set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise. Well, she can just ride the alpaca. Why is she walking? There's a fate that can start over here. Let's do it. Spittle Patter Pana. Kill the things. Freshly hatched. Past your expiration date. Entire swarm of them. Take it easy. That's a Dark Knight. And that should be the last. Woo. Let's just teleport. Alpaca. There's Mablu. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Wilcomat can't be that far behind. Ooh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to. They're adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? No, the golden one's in the back. Yes, there is no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although, I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoralja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Gulal Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too. So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tulialal, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yakui, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Gulal Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn's servant. Our people were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yakuian statue, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulal Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Gulal Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yakui subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Gulal Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Gulal Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek into the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. And that makes the second one that we have. 5 more to go. You're well on your way, Third Promise. We'd have been lost without you, Ma Blue. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. It might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Book Lamont. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobli, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Ma Blue. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobli. What did I tell you, Ma Blue? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Yakhui. They once ruled over far more than just Urkopacha and the Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yaktural and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu were commanded to search for the City of Gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yakhui have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Up that giant-ass mountain. Oh, Kryl. I have a question I've been meaning to ask, and since we finished with the feat, where did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes, pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yaktural around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago, right about the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you. Jumping feet first into the feather business, eh, Ma Blue? Do keystones down. I said we head back to Turial and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn's servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought out a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zoralja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating. Terrifying, even. Whereas I've grown to love Wuklamot. Everyone she meets will come to love her too, and that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. I expected as much from the moment I saw him, but winning the contest against Zoralja will not be easy. The Yakuei once ruled the entirety of Yaktaral. I'm curious to see what has become of them. I never dared hope we would find a lead for this earring mystery so quickly. I mixed 2 out of 7 keystones. So far, so good. It feels good to have the feet of gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zoralja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you've all been so supportive, but I want to be strong, or wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Is that back to that? The contest. I'm not going to try butchering that name. There's more quests, some of which unlock Aether Currents. I'm going to just grab them and like do them later, because this map is clearly split in half like the other one. So there's only a point in getting stuff done if we are able to actually get all of the Aether Currents. Nopli. Rubbing his hands together, a crisis of corruption. Corrupted crystals? Hey, I recognize you. You're Olive, yes? I've heard about you. Companion to the Third Promise, a most dependable individual. The name's Nopli, and I'll have you know I'm a merchant blessed by fortune, if I do say so myself. Indeed, I believe our meeting today is no chance encounter, but the hands of fate guiding us for one singular purpose. The exchange of invaluable items at an unbelievable price. If I could direct your attention over here for just a moment. Feast your eyes on these, crates of exceedingly rare and precious corrupted crystals. Beautiful, aren't they? They were extracted from remote regions of Eorzea and shine a brilliant orange hue. Quite unlike your run-of-the-mill crystals, no? For you, I'm willing to offer them for the low price of 1 pel in the millions column. It's nigh highway robbery at this valuation, but anything for a friend of the Third Promise. Sorry, I clearly misheard it. It almost sounded like you said 1 million. They're not worth even a fraction of that price. What do you mean? Considering how much it set me back to purchase them, the price I'm offering should be perfectly reasonable. Strange. These are precious crystals, are they not? There's a billion of them in Mordona. Just to be certain, these crystals are considered priceless treasures in Eorzea, right? We give him a reality check. Let me see if I'm getting this right. Not only are corrupted crystals commonplace across the salt, but they're also highly volatile. In the past, you once used such crystals together with an elemental converter to battle with powerful entities you call primals. What's more, you kept them in a warded container at all times, protecting against their deleterious effects. All which is to say, no practical use for such crystals has been discovered, meaning no one with sense would ever bother to mine them. The peddler who sold these crystals to me never mentioned a word of this. He claimed they're extremely rare in Eorzea, which is why I decided to purchase them in the first place, even at the exorbitant price he offered. Naturally, I believed him, having never seen crystals of their like. Could you blame me? But they really have no use. He's broke. Have I, Noply the Lucky, been swindled? At the very least, I was able to learn about the crystal's true nature before selling them to some poor soul. Fortune hasn't abandoned me completely yet. At any rate, I'd like to verify whether these crystals truly hold no value. Would you be willing to help me look into this, Olive? I need someone I can trust, and that you'd be willing to share the truth with me says a lot. No need to answer right away, give it some thought. If you know interest, be free to be on your way. If you decide to assist me, I'll be here waiting. Quest accepted, and we're gonna do it later. Yeah, it is in my thing. Flustered merchant. Traveler to the rescue. Oh, thank goodness, a capable-looking traveler. Please, I need your help. My caravan was attacked by beasts. I had a bodyguard, a young Mamulja mercenary, but he could barely fend for himself, let alone me. He somehow managed to throw me over his shoulder and carry me all the way here, but no sooner did my feet touch the ground than he ran back into the jaws of death. Damned if I can figure out why. Injured as he was, I don't like his chances. Please, I beg of you, go to the place and save him. Just over there, which we will do later. Right next to the restaurant. Hopefully we get to the first new dungeon soon. I'm already 93. Womp. There we go. Takes a minute to load. Right here. Golden Alpaca, alone I may have tried to track the beast myself. Traveling with so large and diverse a group is unfamiliar to me, if she could see me now. Alize. The Pellar remind me of Lalafell, never letting their size slow them down or hold them back. They move at their own pace, making their textiles in mezcal and raise alpacas and bear them to market. Idle amusing aside, we made a good start on these challenges. Hopefully we can keep it up. Neither Koana nor Bakal Joja appear to be in Chimpello. I imagine they're around somewhere making progress even as we are. Contests like these totally matter time that the claimants are pitted against each other in direct competition. I've heard there are hot springs in Urkopacha. I have not forgotten our obligations to Wakama, of course, having immersed ourselves in the culture of others, though anticipation for the new experiences adventure has only grown. Look at us. The contest has barely begun, we already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. Mezcal marinated swamp monk. Huh. Success of others. Eager to start the next feat. We've now won keystones from both the Feat of Reeves and the Feat of Gold. Surely that means our approach to the contest was the right one. So it would seem, by continuing to retrace Gulul Joja's journey as presented in the saga, we should find the remaining electors in turn. Now, let's visit the Giants next. Like Kryl said, the fact that they were searching the Golden City might mean they know something useful. The home of the Yakui is in the upper reaches of Urkopacha. Unless you're keen on scaling the cliffs, we'll have to take the long way around, through Cosmauca. This route will take us close to the Moblin village, which is another important location in the saga. Since we'll need all the keystones eventually, it makes sense to pay them a visit while we're passing through. So we'll call on the Moblins first then. Let's head there right now. I'm afraid right now is going to be a problem. Oh yeah, I saw this. It's a giant broken bridge. The flight of Wee Wingless, the great stairs leading to the Moblin settlement, collapsed in the storm. What are we to do then? There is an alternative, but it requires preparation. Until it's ready, you could rest at the cabins or see more of the city, whichever you prefer. Just to be sure, you'll accept any method of travel as long as it gets us to our destination? Of course. Who do you take me for? Then as your guide, I will see to the arrangements. Well, it seems we have some free time on our hands. Let's make the most of it. Is it going to be another boat because she gets seasick? I need to get my axe repaired. I nicked the blade pretty badly when I took a swing at Buckle Jaja. That reminds me, I never got around to introducing to Ropley, did I? He's the man in charge of what Meki and a good person to know. Want to come along? Let's go then. It seems like she's still here. Oh. The markets are to the east on the other side. Over there. I have that Aether net spot, but there's a talking place along the way. Bum 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 ba 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 ba. Aunt T's Tacos, named for its owner here, the lovely Teal. After the best tacos, this place sits at the top with the restaurant. You say that, Therpomus, but you only ever eat old Brook Evu's food. Come and buy mine for a change. Sorry, Teal, it has been a while, hasn't it? I swear I'll stop for a bite once the contest is over. God, my tongue is on fire. Ropley. My, the third promise. How might I assist you this fine evening? Well met, Ropley. I need to buff a nasty nick out of my axe blade. Yes, it's been chipped quite terribly. Trying to cleave rocks again, were we? Something like that. Think you can fix it? You stand among Tiral's most prestigious gathering of artisans and ask this question? 'Tis child play. We'll have it repaired for you in 2 shakes of an alpaca's tail. Good to hear. I leave in your capable hands. Who's your companion, if I may ask? Oh, this is Olive, a great adventurer I recruited from across the salt. I brought him here to meet you, actually. Thought he might have reason to visit Wachu Meki sooner or later. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ropley, humble representative of this grand center of trade. A pleasure to meet you. You there. Stop dithering in the shadows and announce your business already. No, this is the guy from the boat. I've seen that man somewhere before. The guy trying to make a name as a weaver or something. Because it didn't work out in Eorzea. Or a jewelry maker. I spoke with him too. Fontaine? Yes, that was his name. You've been loitering like a flighty admirer who can't pluck up the courage to confess his feelings. Out with it then. Why are you here? That is to say, he's nervous. And we're no closer to solving that enigma. I wonder if he could use someone to talk to. I say we go and ask. Let me know by link pearl if you find him first. Let's take the Ethernet. Oh, there's script exchange. Thank you, your pardon, sir, but house rules stipulate I only serve those with prior approval. Okay. That means complete the game. Let's find Mr. Man. He's either in here or, like, down on the beach area. So, some kind of cutscene there. Oh, here we are. You were conversing with Master Roleplay, but wait, we've met before, haven't we? On the ship. You found him? Good, I'll be right there. Why did you run off like that? Did you have business with Ropley or not? Please, you needn't concern yourself with my affairs. I am undeserving of such attention. Huh? What are you going on about? I beg of you, do not ask me to explain. Do not. Sorry, but the more you tell me not to, the more curious I become. Besides, you look like you need a friend. You're too kind. So be it. I suppose I can share with you a morsel of my misery. Before I came to Teal-Rasferian, I worked as a goldsmith at the most prestigious jewelry maker in all of Vtuber, Same's Aesthetics. Always started off well enough, but as the day passed, everything began to go wrong. Compared to the masterpieces of my talented colleagues, my products were lacking. Mediocre. I lost all confidence. Crippling doubt had possessed me, and any veneer of bravado I tried to put forth soon cracked beneath its weight. Thus did I take ship, hoping to find a fresh beginning on new shores. Yet, as you witnessed, I lacked the courage to even approach a potential employer. You stand before a man wallowing in the wreckage of his ill-spent existence. All right, then. You offered a morsel, then served us the full course. You must really want to hear someone to hear your story. If you like, I could try to give you a few words of advice. You have experience with my predicament, a feeling terribly inadequate compared to your undeniably superior peers. Well, when you put it that way, Not me, I'm Wuklamat, third promise of Teal-Rasferian. Daughter of the Dawn Servant. Of course, you're a member of the royal family. Please forgive my presumptuousness. But of you, have you ever found your work, measured your work against that of your colleagues and found yourself wanting? You can't measure your worth by the success of others. How can I not? Should my work not meet the same exacting standards, no new commissions will be forthcoming. What then was the point of my becoming a goldsmith? Looking back, 'twas my father who inspired me to take up the trade. His exquisite creations brought radiant smiles to the faces of clients, and I admired him deeply for it. In the course of striving to be the greatest goldsmith to him, I lost sight of my original motivation. All I ever wanted was to spread joy through my craft as he did. Hello, mirror of Wuklamat, except Except a guy. Perhaps I'll give this one last try. Thank you for both reminding me of what is truly important. What is truly important. Speak with Lokomat, who's still here. ... Sorry, Olive, I didn't mean to ignore you. I'm glad to see Fontaine is giving himself another chance. For all Turali. Wonders how he's getting on. See if he's actually gone to talk to Ropley. And also, we need your axe back. So, yeah. Ba ba ba. You can do this, Fontaine. Our lurker seems a changed man. I'm not even sure it even is the same man. Just gonna need you to come, but you needn't worry. I found my courage. We need Loklamat's axe back. It's a positive side effect. Pray accept my apologies for my earlier behavior. My name is Fontaine, and I am a goldsmith from Muda in faraway Eorzea. I realize this is a bold request, but I should like to continue practicing my trade here in Wachumekimeki, if you'll have me. I ask only for the opportunity to bring happiness to others with my creations. So that's what that was about. You were looking for work. Consider yourself hired. Wachumekimeki is always in need of skilled craftsmen and women. I'll handle the necessary paperwork. Can you start tomorrow? Yes, of course. As thank you both again for your sage and timely advice. I don't know that I was all that helpful. But you were. Had you not come to speak with me, I would not have had the moment of much needed self-reflection. Oh. Aaronville's got our route. The entrance of High Tide Harbor. Oh, I almost forgot. Do you have my axe ready, Ropley? Ready and waiting. Behold the sublime touch of a Wachumeki artisan. Oh, it's as sharp as deadly as the first day I held it. Thank you. Good luck to you, Fontaine. Let me know if that doubt creeps back, and I'd be happy to talk you out of it. We should head for the harbor. I'm assuming that this is going to be the dungeon. Oh, it's just right there. Oh, everyone's here. All that waiting was making me hungry, so I tried a taco from both the restaurant and Aunt T's. I think I prefer Tiesel's spicier flavors. I went to re-examine the saga. Should we continue apace, we shall soon come to face to need with those enormous Yakui. I am told some of them tower over even the hulking Gulu Jaja. I wandered through the Bayside markets and found earrings almost identical to mine. They indeed seem to be a common travel charm, just as Mablu described. I wonder what Aaronville alternate means of travel is. Enough with the secrecy. What's this big plan of yours? Look there. That is my big plan. Is that a giant manatee? What is that? It's a Punuti. She'll be pulling our boat upriver. How do we know she won't thrash about and sink us instead? They're gentle and timid creatures, for the most part. She's unlikely to cause a fuss unless you give her reason to. First alpacas, now Punutis. We're relying on a lot of animals for this journey. We should be thankful we have an animal expert as our guide then. But did it have to be my old nemesis? Another boat? Well, I took you for someone who was up to the challenge. Was I wrong? Ugh. Surely they have seasick medicine. Long ago, when fighting still raged between the clans, the inhabitants of Kozumauka wrote these riverboats to move swiftly through hostile territory. But the vessels see little use with Tyrol now at peace, so I was able to borrow one of the few which remain. I did consider a dirigible, but the pilots warned me that the updrafts near the falls would make landing difficult. You said you borrowed one, yet there appear to be several on the water. Kawana. Lamity, traveling up the river, I presume? Seems that way. Does that mean you've earned 2 keystones already? I can't believe how well you've managed despite undertaking the contest alone. I was never alone. I've had my own entourage with me since the beginning. Thancred and Urianger. That's what I thought it was going to be. His Archon allies. Thancred, Urianger, what are you doing here? Escorting a promise, the same as you. I had heard much of the incomparable Archons during my time at the Studium. As soon as the contest was confirmed, I thought who better to recruit to my cause. I contacted the Scholarch, who arranged an introduction to these 2 gentlemen. The second promise had specific requirements. They who would be his assistants must both proven survival skills and mastery of the arcane arts. Thus did Thancred and I receive the summons. My own studies concentrated on technology, which our people could readily use, such as inventions born of magitech or clever engineering. Where magic was concerned, I covered only the foundation. Knowing you two, I expect you had other reasons for accepting the job? A few. The nation of Tulial spans an entire continent. Depending on who wins the throne, the world may be plunged into instability once more. Ever have we striven to preserve peace? Where is our place if not here and now? We did our due diligence, of course, and made sure of who we were working with before agreeing to this endeavor. He's even more opaque than Urianger at times, but is surprisingly... That's quite enough of that. We must be on our way. Hey, I have one more question before you leave. Kawana and Wuklamat are vying for the throne. As Kawana's entourage, does that mean you're resolved to defeat all his opponents, including us? We're sworn to do all in our power to win this contest for Kawana, even if it means competing against our own comrades. We intend to hold nothing back and expect you to do the same. And we won't disappoint you. I thought you were taking a boat. If even you have been forced to travel on water, then the others will be doing the same. I would rather walk than risk confrontation on a leaky barge with no possibility of retreat. It's true that I can't stand boats. But I trust the route Aaronville has chosen for us. Leave the handling of the Punuti to me. Should other wildlife attack us, however, I may have difficulty keeping her under control. Do your best to draw them away. As far from the front of the boat as possible. Then we shall remain on deck and stand guard, though it may be wise to leave at least one of us to sit up front with Aaronville just in case. I'd like to stay on the deck. I'm eager to put my pictomancy to the proof. And I'll take any chance to show you that I can hold my own on the battlefield. Then Kryle will stand on guard with Olive. I'll keep Aaronville company then. With my blade, I can respond more quickly to threats than Alfino. If a fight breaks out, I'll try and stay out of your way. I shall endeavor to provide aid where it is needed. I can do that as well. That should cover most eventualities. Secure your gear and board the boat when you're ready. I think I'm gonna just queue in for like a normal party. Buckle Jaja the Mighty. Gehehe. Let the hunt begin. Why do you cause so much problems? Ihiyukakatumu, whatever. Place unlocked. Party of other players. With 2 keystones now won, and her father's historic journey pointing the way, Loquilmot sets her sights on the Moblin settlement perched above the waterfalls of Kozuma Uka. As misfortune would have it, the wild storm which passed through the region has collapsed the great stairs leading up the cliffs. Being resourceful, Aaronville to arrange an alternate route, a barge-like vessel pulled upriver by a massive yet gentle Punutui. Brace yourself for a fight, not only the current but an abundance of fierce wildlife as you forge along Yogg-Taral's mighty Ihukatamu. Basically, it's the river. Oh, clear selection. And it should be an instant pop. Yep. Okay. First new dungeon, let's go. All right. Howdy to the party. And it's just like day 2, so we don't have to worry about everyone knowing all of the... What do you mean my instant portrait was reverted? I'm wearing the same exact gear. I hate the settings for the instant portrait. Oh, we have... Are they ahead of us or behind us? They're ahead of us. How'd that happen? It's about ahead of us. We have company. Oh, Alize's got a bird on her. Okay. Fish. We're in for some rain. Do we, like, go forward? To improvise. He's gonna attack our boat directly. The harness. Landfall. Now there's a boss Punitui. Prime. Ooh, new music. Resurface. It. Song of the Punitui. Oh, now they're fighting us. Shore shaker. That's layered. Resurface. Cool. That was an interesting fight. Bracelet offending, aiming. Hut? Or cave entrance? Rich leaf tunnels. It. Treasure coffer and then going up. Womp. Oh, our opponents. Has some misfortune befallen thy vessel? Soon you... Really? Jeez. Slimes. Hit. Mimiclots. Oh, they mimic us. Another ladder. I love how dark this cave is. What the heck is that? Drowsy? Oh, it was sleeped. So, drowsy dance. The roots are invigorated. Spit. Mimiclots. So it makes them. Sneeze. We should be able to kill it before we have to deal with this. Yay. Gotta love being able to skip mechanics. I'll greed on the... and I'll greed on that because it's Viper. There's a rainbow in the distance. Automatons. And there's dead animals around here. Casting just because, why not? Oh, it's Abaddon. Guessing this was the last set of mobs. Yes. Where's Beth's staff? tasty. Apex Predator Apollyon. Well, its original sprite in Final Fantasy IX is Abaddon, I'm pretty sure. I'll greed for that. Razor Zephyr. Wild beasts emerge to defend their territory. They'll fight against Apollyon. And then he'll eat him. Strengthen its wing beats. Sickle. Oop. Scything forearms. Wind whistle. Oh, now this is tricky. Thank you for the run and level up. I think once we get out of this dungeon, probably there's probably going to be a cutscene. I'll probably just end the stream. And that's the end of that. Just you left. I'll need that, and I'll greed that. I got the staff. Kona's gotten ahead of us now. Biggest bug I've ever seen. Here, let's say an Aaronfall, alright. just for the looks. Okay. Well, aren't we in somewhere pretty?
This is as far as we can go on foot, it seems. We'll have to head back and see about fixing the boat.
Oh.
Hey! Everyone all right?
Well, that was an abrupt end for the music. I was worried we might not catch up to you. The caverns you traverse were dug by the Yaku in the search for gold. Remnants of their excavations we found throughout this region. I appreciate the lesson, oh wise guide. Are we landing this boat anytime soon? Our river journey is almost over. For proof of that, you need only look ahead. Falls were impressive enough from a distance, but it's almost too much now. Amazing. Now please let me off. The trees are really pretty. No more boats. Oh, you're not alright. I'd be surprised if he was. Even without the nausea, we're all spent. There's a mountain shelter nearby, a resting spot through the ascent of the stairs. I suggest we make use of it. That'd be a welcome respite. The strength for a short walk. We can rest along the way too. Damn it all. Promise meant to lead from the front, not mule and moan like a sick kitten. Well, Clement. Ignore me. It's the nausea talking. I'm fine, really. Lead on. I'll follow. You will, but if I might say one thing. Just because you're a promise or a claimant for the throne doesn't mean you can't be seen to struggle. You needn't bear this burden alone, so please don't hesitate to talk to us. We're always willing to lend an ear. But, Kryl, leaning on others is a skill all leaders require. You as well, Olive. I've always believed this is my problem alone, but perhaps you have the right of it. Alright, I'll talk about things. Just give me a moment to collect my thoughts. Of course, as long as you need. We'll be waiting at the shelter when you're ready. Uklamat's right here. Oh, and now we're in the other half of this place, which hopefully means I'll be capable of getting all of the Aether Currents. I have long felt that I could never tell anyone that I was confused or hurting, that admitting to weakness would bring shame to Papa's name. But if you're willing to listen, then there are things I'd like to talk about. Come on, let's catch up with the others. Right, and with that, I'm just gonna call an end to this stream. I'll be playing more of this off camera, of course, but I'll probably plan on streaming some more next week as well. So thank you all for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.